You'll also want to, of course, keep track of your product orders. We talked about that. You're going to need the information from Section 1, Section 2, taxes and shipping and handling. All of those are tax deductions, so you need to keep track of those. Keep track of how much money you spend every year on your rent or your mortgage, because a portion of it is going to be a tax deduction. So keep track of that. Utilities, electricity, gas, water, garbage, phone, any house expenses. Keep track of all the major house expenses, because a portion of those are going to be a tax deduction. Keep track of house improvements, anything you do, improvement you do on the land or on the house. So keep track of all that stuff. You also need to know the square footage of your home, and then the total square footage of your Mary Kay usable space. That would be any office area that you have, or if you don't have an office, it would be a storage cabinet. You know, do you have a closet that is solely Mary Kay? The Mary Kay usable space has to be a 100% Mary Kay space. But you need to have a square footage of what you're doing for your Mary Kay space. If you have a product loan, you want to make sure you're keeping track of interest on your product loan. If you have a Visa card that you're buying expenses on and it accrues in interest, keep track of interest, because all your interest is tax deductible. That's very important to know. And then you want to also keep track of your gross receipts. And how I do this is I just have, I just keep all of my pink slips in a tub as proof for the IRS. If they ever come back, I can show my pink slips. Most of it is always tracked in the Mary Kay in Touch or on a computer program that you have. And also, if you're keeping records properly in your Mary Kay customer profile box, a lot of that's going to be tracked as well. But keep your Mary Kay gross receipts either in a box or in a filing folder. And then with those gross receipts, you'll have the gross amount of product that you sold, the retail product you sold. You will have the tax collected, that's important, and you will also have any product giveaways that you've given away. That's really important that you keep track of all those things. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about on this page is mileage. Mileage for your car. Keep track of it. There are some apps on Androids. In fact, there's an app I just found today. It's called My Consultant app, and it's really cool. Just check it out. It actually helps you fill out a receipt, tells you, you can put in a defaulted tax. It'll tell you what the tax is. It tells you what your gross earnings are for that particular sale. It gives you a chance to go into a different website and run a credit card for the sale. And then it also has a different little section that says mileage, and it helps you keep mileage for your business. But the biggest thing is if you have a calendar and you want to keep track of how many miles. Let's say you go to and from your house to a success meeting, and it's 5 miles to that success meeting, and your success meeting is on Tuesday nights. So every Tuesday you put 5 miles, put success meeting, and circle it. You're supposed to keep an odometer tracking of it. You can do it properly, keep an odometer tracking of it. If nothing else, at least track how much mileage you've done. You go to a different city to do a facial and a skincare party. Keep track of how many miles that is. You run deliveries around town. Keep track of how many miles that is. The way you keep track of it is you say deliveries, 3 miles. Sally Mae's class in such and such city, 30 miles. And then you keep track of that. So if you're tracking your miles, you get to take the deduction. And the mileage is one of the largest tax deductions that you can get. So keep track of that. With the mileage, you want to make sure you take a beginning mileage odometer of your car. Either when you started your business, a beginning mileage when you started your business, or a beginning mileage at January 1 for all consultants. And then at the end of the year, December 31st, you want to take an ending mileage. And those two things you must have, the beginning and ending mileage. Obviously, one is in the same. You take your year-end mileage, that's the beginning of the year mileage for the next year. So it's easy enough to track that. But keep track of your mileage. Again, that My Consultant app on Android phones will help you keep track of the mileage as well. So keep track of that. Filling out sales receipts, it's pretty self-explanatory. It looks like this. It's in my Mary Kay package. And the biggest thing you need to know is that you fill out retail sales, retail amount, you add your tax, and that's the total they owe you. You can take credit card numbers. There are applications now where they have little apparatuses that you can put on top of your cell phones and run the card, and it goes straight into a program that will charge your card. Make sure whatever you do, when you do a credit card app, you get the expiration date if you're going to write it down. Be very careful with those numbers though, because you don't want random credit card numbers floating around. If they're doing a hostess credit and they're getting $35 or $75 a product for $35, essentially they're getting $40 worth of free products. So let's say they buy $100 worth of free products. Their discount is $40. So they are buying that extra product above the $75 for $35. So their total order is going to be $60 times the tax. Now, depending on who you talk to, you can charge tax on the gift you give away or not charge tax. Either way is legal. If you charge tax, then you're giving the tax to the government. If you don't charge tax, it's called non-refund or non-retrievable sales tax, and it comes back to you in your tax deduction. So either way you do that, it's going to work fine. I personally don't charge tax on gifts because it feels really weird if I'm giving $30 worth of products away for free and then I charge them tax. I just don't do that. So, but you choose to do what you want to do, and every consultant does it the way they want to do it. So if you have any questions on those receipts, talk to either me or call your sales director and she'll be able to answer any questions on how you fill out a sales receipt.